Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 satim vyasam tato jayamudiraya nasta praeshu vabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. We're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10. Bhagavatam is the answer to all questions. Text number 19.
我们今天读的是《薄伽瓦坛》第2篇第10章第19诗节。薄伽瓦坛是一切问题的答案。2.10.19。
Vivakshor Mukato Bumno Vanir Vag Vyaritam Tayo Jale Chetasya Suchiram Nirodha Samajayata Vivikshor Mukato Bumno Vivikshor Mukato Bimno Vanirvak Vyaritam Tayo Vanirvak Vyaritam Tayo Jale Chetasya Suchiram Jale Chetasya Suchiram Nirodha Samajayata Nirodha Samajayata Vivakshor Mukhato Bumno Vanirvak Varitam Tayo Jale Chetasya Suchiram Nirodha Samajayata Vivikshor Mukato Bumno Vanirvak Varitam Vayo Jale Chetasya Suchiram Nirata Samajayata Vivaksha, where there was a need to speak.
有说话的必要时，
Mukhata, from the mouth.
从嘴里，
Bhumna, of the Supreme.
至尊主的
Vani, fire, or the controlling deity of fire.
火或者控制火的神明，
Vak, vibration.
震动，
Vyaritam, speeches.
讲话，
Tayo, by both.
通过两个，
Delay, in the water.
在水里，
Cha, however.
但是，
Etasya, of all three. Of all these.
所有这些，
Suchiram, very, very long time.
很长很长时间，
Nirodha, suspension.
暂停，
Samajayata, continue.
继续，
Translation. When the Supreme desired to speak, speeches were vibrated from the mouth. Then the controlling deity fire was generated from the mouth. But when he was laying in the water, all these functions remained suspended.
译文：当至尊者想要说话时，嘴就发出言语的声音震动，接着负责控制说话的火神从他嘴里产生出来。但当他躺在水里时，所有这些功能都处在暂停的状态。
Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The peculiarity of the gradual development of the different senses is simultaneously supported by their controlling deities. It is to be understood, therefore, that the activities of the sense organs are controlled by the will of the Supreme. The senses are, so to speak, offering a license for the conditioned souls who are to use them properly under the control of the controlling deity deputed by the Supreme Lord. One who violates such controlling regulations has to be punished by degradation to a lower status of life. Consider, for example, the tongue and the controlling deity Varuna. The tongue is meant for eating, and men, animals, and birds each have their different tastes because of different licenses. The taste of human beings and that of the swine are not on the same level. The controlling deity, however, awards or certifies a particular type of body when the particular living entity develops a taste in terms of different modes of nature. If the human being develops taste without discrimination, as does the swine, then the controlling deity is certainly certified for the next term to award him the body of a swine. The swine accepts any kind of foodstuff, including stools, and a human being who has developed such indiscriminate taste must be prepared for a degraded life in the next life. Such a life is also God's grace, because the conditioned soul desired a body like that for perfectly tasting a particular type of foodstuff. If a man gets the body of a swine, it must be considered the grace of the Lord, because the Lord awards the facility. After death, the next body is offered by superior control, not blindly. A human being, therefore, must be on his guard as to what sort of body he's going to have in the next life. An irresponsible life of indiscrimination is risky, and that is the declaration of all scriptures.
要指每一个感官都有控制它的神明，而每一个神明都监督着他所控制的感官的逐渐发展。因此要明白，感官活动受至尊旨意的控制。可以说，至尊主给受制约的灵魂提供感官，并授权负责控制感官的神明加以管理，以使受制约的灵魂能正确地利用感官。违反管理条例的人会受到惩罚，被降级到更低等的生命状态中。让我们以舌头和控制它的神明把朱纳为例思考一下。舌头是吃东西的工具，人、动物和飞禽因为被允许吃的东西不同，所以有不同的味觉。人和猪的味觉不一样。负责控制的神明按照各个生物在物质自然属性的影响下，培养出不同喜好，赐给他们不同种类的躯体。人如果培养出猪的喜好，不加分辨，什么都吃，负责控制的神明就会在他下一次投生时赐给他猪的躯体。猪什么都吃，甚至包括粪便。人如果培养出这样的习惯，那么下一世就会在更低等的生命物种中投生。这也是神的恩典，因为是受制约的灵魂自己想要用那样的躯体去品尝某类食物。一个人如果得到猪的躯体，必须要知道那是至尊主的恩典，因为至尊主按个体灵魂的愿望给他提供便利条件。死亡之后会再得到什么样子的躯体，要由更高的控制神明来决定，而不是随便得到的。因此，人必须要小心他下一世会得到什么类型的躯体。所有的经典都声明，不加分辨、不负责任的生活太危险了。
Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitan Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Sukadeva Goswami is describing the development of the Virata Purusha at the time of the creation.
所以苏卡德瓦的 Goswami 他在描述在创造发展的时候 Virata Purusha 是如何形成的。
So in the verse today, we hear how the Supreme desired to speak, and the result was that the vibrations came from the mouth.
所以这个诗节讲述到，当至尊的愿望想要说话的时候，这个声音的震动就会从嘴巴发出。
And at that time also the controlling deity was generated from the mouth.
这个时候负责说话的神明也从嘴里产生出来。
So Srila Prabhupada's purport points out to us that the senses are given to us by the grace of the Supreme Lord.
帕布帕德在 要旨中指出，我们的感官是由负责控制的神明给予我们，是由至尊给予我们的。
One of the names of the Supreme Lord is Rishikesha, and Rishik means the senses, and Kesha means the proprietor. So the proprietor of the senses is actually the Supreme Lord.
至尊主其中的名字，一个名字是 Rishikesha，Rishi 意味着感官 ，Kesha 意味着控制感官的主人，所以至尊主也叫感官的主人。
Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paradvena nirmalam Rishikesha Rishikena sevanam bhaktir uchate. Devotional service is described that we're meant to use our senses in the service of the Supreme Lord.
奉爱服务意味着在对主的服务中，我们应该去利用自己的感官。
And when we don't use the senses in the service of the Lord, then we use them for our own sense gratification.
当感官没有利用在对主的服务当中，我们就会把它用在自己的感官享乐之中。
And when we do that, we get punished for that.
当这么做的时候，我们便会受到惩罚。
And the punishment is often that we're put into the lower species of life.
通常这种惩罚是让我们去到更低等的生物体中。
And Srila Prabhupada talks in the purport about how people may have the desire to taste too.
帕布帕德在要旨中讲到，有的人可能有吃粪便的欲望。
We see people eat all kinds of terrible foodstuffs.
我们可以看到一些人他不加分辨的什么都吃。
Not just only meat and fish and eggs, but they will eat all kinds of terrible-looking foodstuff.
不仅是肉、鱼、蛋，甚至其他看起来很糟糕的食物。
And so when they use the tongue to eat without any discrimination, then they're given a body to suit that.
所以，当我们不加分辨的用舌头去品味任何食物的话，下一世我们就会给到一个躯体，让我们满足这种愿望。
The human body is not meant to eat just any kind of foodstuff.
人类的躯体不应该是不加分辨的去进食。
We're given a particular body which is meant to be vegetarian, meant to eat leaves and grains and vegetables and fruits.
我们给到一个特定的躯体，让我们能够去素食，吃蔬菜水果。
The whole design of the material body, of the human body, is in such a way it's meant to be vegetarian.
人类躯体的设计是这样子的，所以我们能够成为素食者。
But people who don't follow the vegetarian style, then they're prone to be next life to take an animal body.
但是如果不遵循素食的人，他们下一世更有可能会得到一个动物的躯体。
Of course, people say, "Oh, that's all mythology. We don't believe in it, that you can take birth like that."
有的人会说这听起来都是神话故事，我不相信有这样的一回事。
They think there's only one life, and at the time of death, everything is finished.
他们认为人的生命只有一次，生命结束了，一切就结束了。
But we have information from the scriptures that we're all spiritual beings, and the body is just simply a vehicle, a temporary vehicle.
但是经典告诉我们，我们是灵魂，这个躯体它只是一个工具，承载的工具。
And we will give up this one body, we'll take another body according to our karma, according to our qualification.
根据我们自己的业力和我们的资质，我们会扔掉这个躯体，获得一具新的躯体。
And sometimes we go up to higher levels of life, and sometimes we go down.
有的时候我们会去到高等星宿，有的时候会去到低等星宿。
And it's described how even big demigods who were situated in the heavenly planets, how they became degraded into lower species of life.
我们也听到有的时候高等星宿的半神人甚至也会堕落到低等星球上。
We know from Damodar Lila that there were two sons of Kuvera who were drinking, intoxicated, and going naked in a holy place.
我们从这个大莫大的逍遥时光听到，库威尔的两个儿子，他们因为酗酒呀、不加节制的享乐，然后赤裸的身体在神圣的地方游荡。
So Narada Muni gave them mercy and he put them into the body of trees.
拿热达圣人拿热达给了他们仁慈，把他们变成了这个树的样子。
Because trees stand naked, they will stand.
因为树它是不穿衣服、赤裸着身体站着，所以他们就获得了树的躯体。
Just like if you dig a hole, put your feet in the ground and stand there, then you just stand, you don't move. So trees, they have that kind of body.
所以树的躯体就让他们可以赤裸着站在那里很久。
It's a type of punishment for sinful activities.
这是罪恶活动的一种惩罚。
And so the two sons of Kuvera were put into the body of trees, and they had to stand as trees for a long time.
所以库威尔的两个儿子就获得了树的躯体，他们做这个树要做很久。
And it wasn't until Lord Krishna came there in the form of Damodar, and he pulled over the two trees with the mortar, and then the two demigods came out from the tree.
直到主以达摩达的身份显现，然后他把这两个树拔地而起。
And then there's also the incident of Indra. Indra was the king of heaven, but he was very inclined to sense gratification. So his guru cursed him to become a pig.
还有一个关于 Indra 的例子 ，Indra 是天堂的主人，但是他沉迷于感官享乐，所以他的灵性导师就诅咒他，让他变成了一只猪。
And Indra had to take the body of a pig, and he was living in the pig house with all the pigs.
所以 Indra 他就接受了一个猪的躯体，和所有的猪一起生活在猪圈里面。
And after some time, the guru came and told him, he said, "Okay, you've been a pig long enough, now you can come back."
过了一段时间，他的灵性导师来到他面前说：“你做猪做了这么久，可以了，现在你回来吧。”
But Indra said, "Oh no, I'm happy here."
但是 Indra 说：“我不想回去，在这儿我挺快乐的。”
He said, "I have my family here.
他说：“在这儿我有我的家庭。”
I have pig wives, many wives, and I have many children here.
我有我的猪妻子，然后有很多猪孩子。
And every day I'm getting big buckets of food. The farmers bringing me big buckets every day.
每天这个农夫就会给我很多很多的食物。
And Indra said, I'm okay here. I don't want to go anywhere.
Indra 说：“我在这儿挺好的，哪儿也不想去。”
So this is the nature of this is the nature of life, that whatever situation we're in, we're thinking, it's not so bad here, I'm all right here.
所以这就是人类生活的处境，不管我们的处境多么的糟糕，我们会觉得可能还没有那么糟。
We're thinking, no, it's okay, the sun is shining, the trees are there, there's flowers, there's fruits.
我们会觉得还可以凑合着过吧，因为太阳还在天空里照射着，然后这边还有水果，还有鲜花。
We don't see that the material body is aging, and one day you're going to have to give up the body.
我们并没有办法看到这个物质躯体在衰老，有一天我们要放弃它。
We have to give up the body, and we have to take another body.
我们要放弃这具躯体，获得一具新的躯体。
So we're advised here to be very cautious about our activities in this life.
所以我们获得的建议是在这一世，我们对从事的活动要非常小心谨慎。
Because the activities and the consciousness which we cultivate in this life will determine our next birth.
因为通过这些活动，我们所培养出的觉知，决定了我们下一世会获得什么样子的生命。
Srila Prabhupada often talked about how people have their cars. And they're fond of their four wheels. They go everywhere on their four-wheeled cars.
帕布帕经常会谈到，有些人很痴迷这个汽车，去哪里都会坐他的车。
But he said four wheels. He said the dog is on four legs and you're on four wheels.
但是帕布帕的会说，这个狗有4个腿，然后你坐的也是4个腿的这个工具。
But the activities are the same. The dog is thinking, where is food? Where is sleep? Where is sex? And the man is also thinking the same thing, driving his car.
然而这些人和狗的活动是一样的。这个狗在想，我应该吃什么？我在哪里睡觉？怎么样能够找一个异性来交配？
And so the consciousness is not different. Although you have the human body, if we don't use it properly, then in the future we will be degraded into lower species of life.
所以这些人他们和狗的觉知是一样的。因此，如果我们不好好利用人类的躯体，下一世我们的这个觉知会变得和狗一样。
It was said there was one man, he was a very prominent politician in a very powerful country. He was the leader of a nation. But after he died, the astrologers predicted his next birth.
有一个人，他在一个非常强大的国家，是这个国家的伟大的政治领袖。但是在他去世的时候，一个占星师预测了他的下一世。
And they predicted that this man, previously he was so prominent, he was worshipped and honored by so many people. Next life, he became a dog in Sweden.
这个占星师就说，即使这个人在这一世是一个非常有名的人物，但是下一世他会成为瑞士的一只狗，瑞典的一只狗。
Yeah. So that is the destination of people who don't use the human body properly.
所以如果人们不好好利用自己人类的生命的话，这就是他们的命运。
They don't have any belief in any future. They don't believe in any kind of practice of religion. They just simply think life is for sense gratification.
这些人他们不相信任何的宗教原则，也不相信人有来世，所以他们只沉迷于感官享乐。
So there are many examples of people who experience the next birth.
有很多例子证明了人们是有来世的。
Just like Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj was a great king, but he retired from the throne. He gave up his kingdom and went to the Himalayas to do austerities.
就像巴热的马哈拉什，他是一个伟大的君主，但是他放弃了自己的国家，然后去到喜马拉雅山过起隐居的生活。
But in the course of doing his austerities, he became attached to a deer.
但是在他苦行的期间，他依附上了一头小鹿。
He saved the life of a little deer, and he became very affectionate to the deer, and it disturbed all his meditation.
他救了这个小鹿一命，然后变得非常依附他，对他有很深的情感，但是这个打扰了他的冥想。
And Bharat Maharaj had the misfortune to fall from a cliff, and when he fell from the cliff, his mind was simply thinking of the deer.
然后巴热的马哈拉只不幸的从这个悬崖上摔了下来。在他堕崖的时候，摔到悬崖下面的时候，他心里想的是小鹿。
And next life he had to take birth as a deer.
下一世他就要接受一个小鹿的躯体。
And he had to. He was, however, because he was an advanced devotee, he was blessed with memory of his past life.
但因为他是一个高级的奉献者，所以他有自己前一世的记忆。
Usually people forget the past life. We don't remember our past lives.
通常人们不记得自己前世做过什么。
But sometimes it happens that in the course of changing the body, Lord Krishna arranges that the person will remember the previous life.
但是有的时候在更换躯体的时候，主回师那会做出这样子的安排，让这个人能够记住自己的前世。
So Bharat Maharaj got the memory. Although he was in the body of a deer, he remembered what had happened to him.
所以巴热的马哈拉就有这样子的记忆，尽管他在一个鹿的躯体里边，他记得自己的前世。
And he regretted that he had to waste time. He had to take birth as a deer and live in the deer body for some time until he again came back to a human form of life.
所以他很后悔自己浪费的时间， 需要聚集在这个肉的躯体里边生活一段时间，才能重新获得一个人类的躯体。
Because it's only in the human form of life that one can achieve self-realization.
因为只有人类的躯体能帮助我们实现自我觉悟。
So in his next birth, Bharat Maharaj became Jat Bharat. He became the son of a Brahmana.
所以在下一世，巴热的 Maharaj 成为扎的巴热，成为一个婆罗门的儿子。
The word Jat Bharat means he was a stupid person. He was like a foolish person.
扎的巴热这个名字意味着他是一个愚蠢的人。
But he behaved in that way just so that his father would not be too much attached to him.
但是他表现出这个样子，愚蠢的样子，只是为了不让自己的父亲依附他。
He knew the danger of family life, that you get very attached to the children.
他知道物质生活的危险，一个人会依附他的子女。
So Jat Bharat was always doing the things the wrong way. He would do stupid things. And the father just understood, oh, this son is stupid. I cannot do anything with him. He's useless.
所以这样的巴热他就会故意做出一些蠢事，故意犯错，这样他的父亲就会以为这个儿子真是无可救药。
Like his father would tell him, after you go to toilet, you need to wash. So he would wash first and then go to toilet.
他的父亲会说，你去完厕所之后你要洗手，但是扎的巴热他就会先洗手，然后再去厕所。
And father would tell him, eat with your right hand, and he would eat with the left hand.
他的父亲让他用右手吃饭，他就会用左手吃饭。
So he do everything the wrong way.
所以他一切都是倒着来。
Father thought this boy is stupid. He's hopeless. I can't do anything with him.
父亲就觉得这个儿子真是无可救药，我真是什么都做不了。
And this way, Jat Bharat was able to leave home, and he was able to wander and achieve perfection.
以这种方式呢，扎德巴拉他可以离开他的家，然后到处四处的游荡，最终实现了自我觉悟，实现了完美。
So there's many examples of people who had near-death experiences.
也有很多人，他们有濒临死亡的经历。
Sometimes people are in critical condition during an operation. Maybe they're undergoing surgery, and they're almost at the point of leaving the body.
比如说，有的人在经历手术的时候，可能在某一刻，他们几乎要离开自己的躯体了。
When they have experience of their spiritual body leaving the material body.
然后他们就体验了自己灵性的躯体离开这个物质身体。
There people who have memories from traumatic situations. Maybe they were in some serious accident and they were almost dead.
也有人体验过这种濒临死亡的经历。这个时候他们可能在经历一个重大的事故，比如说像车祸。
And so they have visions of how they were out of the body and they could see the material body.
他们就体验到了自己离开这个物质躯体，自己能够以一个另外的视角看自己的物质躯体。
So there are many people who have memories from their past lives. Sometimes young children, they can remember their previous lives.
也有很多人拥有前世的记忆，有一些小孩能够记住自己的前世。
There's one very famous professor from the USA who made a lot of studies. He's written a lot of books. He's compiled a lot of evidence. People who have memories from their past lives.
有一个美国的教授，然后他就做了很多的研究，写了很多本书，用很多例子来证明有些人是能够记住自己的前世的。
And so it's not just simply mythology. It's not just simply foolish belief, but it's actually science.
所以这不是什么神话传说，也不是愚蠢的学术，也不是愚蠢的理论，这是有科学证明的。
And we have to understand how to make proper use of the human life.
我们要知道如何更好地利用人类的生命。
If we waste it just simply in sense gratification, then it's a great risk because you have to enter into the lower species.
如果我们把生命浪费在感官享乐上， 会很危险，因为有可能我们下一世会去到低等生命、低等星宿。
If in the next life we have to become a dog or a pig, it is not a very great credit.
如果下一世我们变成了一个狗或者一只猪，这不是太好的事儿。
We want to use this human life to get free from birth and death.
我们想利用人类的生命去超越生死轮回，
And we can do that easily by practicing Krishna consciousness.
通过练习奎师那知觉，我们可以轻松的做到。
That is proper use of the senses.
这个才是对感官恰当的利用。
We use the senses in the service of the master of the senses.
我们把感官利用在对感官之主的服务当中。
Any questions?
有问题吗？
每个感官都有一个控制感官的神使。
Prabhu's question: For every sense organ, we have like a deity controlling them.
我们以说话为例，说话也有一个控制感，说话的一个神使。
For example, when we speak, there is a deva controlling the speech.
我想问，这个说话的这个整个过程是怎么来的？是谁引起说话？完了，说话怎么实现？结果。
He wants to understand like the mechanical process of how the speech is produced, who initiated the speech, and how the whole process how it happens.
沉睡的灵魂在睡觉，它怎么能引起一个说话？
If the soul is sleeping, if the conditioned soul is sleeping, how could it initiate the speech?
If the conditioned soul
is sleeping.
它是引起说话的开始的。
In the sleeping conditioned soul, the initiator of the speech or something else initiates it.
Well, ultimately, everything is under the control of the Supreme Lord.
其实一切最终是在至尊主的控制之下。
Right? Mayanjakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, this material nature is moving under my direction, O son of Kunti.
维师那说：“喷体之子，一切物质自然在我的控制下运作。”
So the living entity is given some independence.
生物个体它被给予了一定程度的自由。
We're given that choice to either we accept Krishna or Maya.
我们的选择是接受奎师那还是接受玛雅。
Either we take the shelter of the spiritual energy or the material energy.
我们可以选择臣服于灵性能量，或者脱避于物质能量。
When we come under the control of the material energy, then we're under the control of the three modes of nature.
当我们在物质能量的影响之下，我们就受物质能量三种属性的控制。
So according to how we associate with the modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, we will act and we will speak in certain ways.
所以决定了我们接触到的是善良属性、激情属性还是愚昧属性，我们会以某一种特定的形态去讲话。
Some people in the mode of ignorance, they will speak with language which is very unpleasant, nasty, insulting.
在愚昧形态的影响下的人，他讲出的话可能会很难听，有侮辱性，然后很不好听。
People use a lot of bad language, that's influenced by the mode of ignorance.
所以那些经常说脏话的人，他们是受愚昧形态的影响。
People in the mode of passion, they will speak in a different way. They will speak with a lot of ambition, a lot of desire to control.
一个受激情形态影响的人，他的讲话可能是充满野心的，他总是想去实现什么很了不起的事情来控制自己的生活。
And people in the mode of ignorance and mode of goodness will recite scriptures, and they will offer prayers and speak words which are pleasing and truthful.
一个属于善良形态的人，他会去引用经典，然后会说一些祷文，他的话语是让人愉悦的。
So everything is influenced by the modes of nature.
所有一切都是受物质自然属性、物质形态的影响。
我今天早上发现我有一个问题，就是我早晨念诵时很困，我听课时很困，但我早晨看手机发短信一点都不困。我想知道这个原因是什么？
I discovered a problem. So when I was chanting in the morning, I was sleepy. When I was listening to class, I was sleepy. But when I was watching the phone, I wasn't sleepy.
That is your conditioning.
这是你受到的制约。
Because you're conditioned to think that your mobile phone is so important and so valuable.
因为我们受到的制约，可能是认为手机它更重要。
And you're not thinking how important is the chanting of the holy name.
我们没有想念诵圣名的重要性。
And so our attention, our concentration is not properly focused.
所以我们的注意力没有放在正确的地方。
We're too much attached to the material communication.
我们非常依附这个物质的沟通和交流。
We need to be attached to spiritual communication.
我们需要转移我们的依附，把注意力放在灵性的交流上。
Chanting the holy name, calling out the holy names of Krishna, that is spiritual communication.
灵性的交流就是念诵圣名，呼唤回上的名字。
And that is more important than any message you get on your mobile phone.
这个比我们手机上收到任何的信息都更重要。
So it's conditioning. We're conditioned to these things.
所以这个就是制约，我们受到制约，所以会依附这些东西。
We're conditioned. If it's a football match going on, oh, my country, my team, we think of things. We're conditioned.
比如说，如果有一场球赛正在进行，我们会觉得，这是我们国家的足球队，然后这是我们的球员。
We want to recondition ourselves and understand our actual spiritual position.
我们想要从这种制约的状态当中解脱出来。
That I am a servant of Krishna. I'm meant to be engaged in the service of Krishna.
记住自己是回身的仆人，我是要服务回身的。
When we go on the Rath Yatra, when we go out on Rath Yatra, we should have that consciousness that I'm here because I am a servant of Krishna. This is my spiritual position.
当我们去弹车节的时候，我们应该记住，我是回身的仆人，这是我的身份。
But our conditioning is to think, oh, why am I out here? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I'm hungry.
但是我们的制约让我们想到，哎呀，我为什么坐在这儿？我又饿又累。
Oh, it's going to rain. Maybe I'll get wet.
下午可能会下雨，我可能会被淋湿。
We forget about Krishna.
我们忘记 Krishna。
We're thinking the body.
我们想的是躯体。
We're thinking the mind, the senses.
我们所想的是心意和感官。
So we have to purify that consciousness.
所以我们要净化这种意识。
By chanting and by engaging in the service of.
通过念诵，通过参与到主的服务中。
Yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question, Maharaj. So, if a person he transcends the bodily concept, he doesn't think about the body so much, but would he sometimes push over his limit? Like even though his material body is exhausted and needs to be taken care of, but he's like pushing it too much, and then he broke it. Something inappropriate happened. 我的问题是，如果一个人他超越了这种感官和物质躯体的概念，那他是否有时可能会过度的利用自己的躯体，导致自己的身体可能会生病啊，或者就是没有恰当的照顾好自己的物质身体。
Yes, it's possible. It can happen. Sometimes you can overdo it. You can become, maybe you may say, become fanatical, and you overdo what limit you're actually capable of.
有这个可能，有的时候一个人他可能会变得非常的狂热，然后就做过头了，可能自己的身体会出现问题。
We get sometimes a devotee, a new devotee, and they want to be very austere, very renounced.
有的时候一些新人奉献者，这些人可能想要进行强烈的苦行、强度的苦行。
One time there was one devotee, he was in Mayapur, he was living there in Mayapur, but he would go and stay in the banana trees, among the banana trees.
有一次有一个奉献者住在玛雅普，他住在了这个香蕉树的树林中。
And you'd only go and take prasadam after everyone else had all taken prasadam, and you'd just go and eat whatever remnants were there.
然后吃普萨的时候呢，他就会等到所有的人荣耀完，他才会去拿一些剩下的一些残余的食物。
So how long you could do like that?
这么做的话，一个人能坚持多久呢？
And after a short time, then of course he gave up everything and went back to material life.
过了不久，他就放弃了这些苦行，然后回到物质生活中。
So we have to be careful. We have to know what is our limit, what we can do, what we're capable of.
所以我们要知道自己的局限，我们能做多少。
So some people can be very renounced and very detached from everything.
有的人可能非常的拒绝，他可以放弃一切。
And other people, they can use everything in the service of Krishna without any attachment.
也有一些人，他可以把一切用在Krishna的服务中，但是不依附这些。
And we were telling yesterday about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, how he was using opulence in the service of Krishna.
昨天我们讲到Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati的例子，他是如何把一切的财富、所有的富裕利用到Krishna的服务中。
We saw Srila Prabhupada, he went to Hong Kong, and when he came to Hong Kong, the devotees there had arranged to greet Prabhupada with a very big car, expensive Rolls-Royce car, and they took him to stay in a very good hotel, and they had the penthouse suite there for Prabhupada.
在帕布帕去香港的时候，他的奉献者门徒就安排了一辆劳斯莱斯来接他，然后把他安排到一个很好的酒店的套房里。
So when the reporters came, they questioned Prabhupada about all of this.
当记者来到的时候，他们就问帕布帕，为什么要做这么大的排场？
But Prabhupada said, well, if I was sitting under a tree, you would not come to see me.
帕布帕的说，如果我现在坐在一棵树下，你可能就不会来找我了。
So I'm just using these opulences to attract you, so that I can give you the message of Krishna.
所以这个牌面呢，只是用来吸引你们这些人，把你们吸引到Krishna知觉来。
And then just after that, Prabhupada left Hong Kong and he went to Bhubaneswar, where we had recently been given some land donated, and there was only some mud hut there, and Prabhupada was living in the mud hut.
在他离开香港之后，帕布帕来到印度的这个 Bhubaneswar， 这个地方我们是最近才拥有了一些土地。帕布帕在那个地方，他是待在小土房子里。
So he was living in the mud hut, and he was taking bath and using the earth from the ground as soap. He didn't use ordinary soap, he just took the earth. He said that this earth is very good. You can purify your body just by rubbing it with the earth.
所以帕布帕沐浴的时候就在户外，他也没有什么香皂，他是用这个土壤泥土来净化自己的身体。
And in this way, Prabhupada was showing all of us how he was completely detached from the material situation.
所以帕布帕向我们展示了他是如何丝毫不依附这个物质的处境。
Whether you live in opulence or you live in poverty, it doesn't make a big difference to a devotee.
对于一个奉献者来说，无论是生活的非常富裕还是非常的贫穷，没有什么区别。
Just simply accept whatever is arranged by the grace of Krishna.
仅仅是接受Krishna安排的一切。
But sometimes people they become fanatical. They want to go to extremes, and they try to do it prematurely.
但是有的时候，一个人他可能很狂热，他的做法不是很成熟。
So you have to understand what we're capable of.
我们要知道自己能做到的是哪些。
Just like in Prabhupada's time, sometimes young men would renounce the world and they would take sannyas.
在帕布帕还在的时候，有一些年轻人想要弃绝一切，成为托钵僧。
But then after some time, they would become restless and they would give up their vows of renunciation.
但是过了一段时间，他们可能就会躁动不安，没有办法持续这个誓言。
Because it's difficult for a young person to maintain the vows throughout their life.
因为对于一个年轻人来说，保持这样的誓言，一生保持是很难的。
When you're 20 or 25, you may think, oh, I want to be renounced. But when you get to 35 and 40, and like that, you may think, well, I think I've had enough of this renunciation.
当一个人可能25岁的时候，觉得我现在已经做好弃绝的准备，我要弃绝了。但是当他到了35岁或者40岁，他可能觉得我已经弃绝够了，我不想再弃绝了。
So you have to be realistic and understand what you can do.
所以我们要现实一点，知道自己能做什么。
Transcendence shouldn't be premature. You must be ready for it.
所以要做到超人的话，不能是自己达不到那个境界就想做到。我们需要是好好的现实一点，好好准备自己。
Brenda has a question.
就是我们那里有很多的庙宇都是修那个佛教，都属于藏密修法。但是他们有很多人都在吃肉，那他们下一世，能转成人吗
？In the place I live, some of the Buddhist temple they practice tantra, but these people eat meat. So in their next life, will they be able to get like a human body?
Well, we cannot say just because they eat meat that they won't get the human body. You have to consider a lot of other things.
我们不能说仅仅因为他们吃肉，下一世他们就没有办法成为人类。我们需要考虑其他的因素。
Certainly, they're not going to go back to Godhead.
当然他们不会回归神手。
They're not ready for liberation.
也没有做好解脱的准备。
Of course, the Buddhists, they have their own philosophy. They say, I didn't kill anything, I'm only eating.
当然佛教徒有自己的说法，他说我没有杀生，我只是在吃这个肉。
But of course, there's still sins involved.
当然也有罪恶的成分在里面。
So, you'll get some reactions will be there.
他们会获得一些罪恶反应的结果。
Yesterday we had a question.
感恩空日的讲课，我想问，如果奉献者夫妻他们就是也在念诵也在唱诵，但是会有经常吵架呀，或者是当着孩子，特别是当着孩子会经常吵架，是不是他们这种情况也是受人类属性或者畸形属性的控制呢？那这种情况如何得到改善呢
？Some of the devotee couples, they both devotees, they are both chanting, but they still fight. And they fight in front of the children. Is it because they are under the control of Rajaguna and Tamaguna?
You have to ask him. He's a householder.
我们可以问Vajrayananda Prabhu，他是一个居士。So if a devotee couple, they are both chanting, but they still fight. They fight in front of the children. Are they still under the control of the Rajaguna and the Tamaguna?
It's common. It will happen.
这个很常见。
It takes time to overcome between husband and wife. The argument is always there, and because we are practicing, so we slowly from the lower modes to the higher modes.
夫妻之间争吵很常见，所以这个需要时间，两个人一点一点的从这种比较愚昧或者欺骗形态上升到善良属性。所以我的妻子花了20年才不再吵架，我们才来到善良形态。是的，就是奉献者有的时候会在孩子面前争吵，这是因为我们控制不了自己。我们需要更多的念诵。
your husband or your wife as a main instruction.
通过念诵，然后参与到服务之中，我们逐渐的把夫妻之间那些鸡毛蒜皮的事情放在一边。
If you come to my platform that discuss, I will give you more ideas how to go about it.
如果你来到我的平台的话，我会给你更多的指导，怎么去经营这个事情。
Everyone's different.
因为每个人的情况不一样。
OK， 还有问题吗？有。OK， 我们就线上。
Yeah.
OK， Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.